It might sound unreal, but truly as you hear, truly like you hear, how is it that yes, it might sound out of the ordinary, yet, but it's true. Like your ears that you have. The creators marvelous creation that you are. Look at the ability that we have to build big structures. We have airplanes, so you've heard before that maybe there's another extraterrestrial beings. And we don't ask ourselves when we see or we hear, oh, I saw a shooting star or a falling star. And you've seen them, and it's so real, like it is real, that NASA will not give an explanation to the people. Because everybody just has heard it's a shooting star, a falling star. And it's obvious that you don't go into the thinking, what can it be? Because it's something that NASA can't identify. Unknown objects, we call them. And they move really fast. So, you might ask yourself, how did I get home that night that I drove and I don't remember anything? God is merciful. Jehovah of armies God of gods, God and Father of our Savior, Jesus Christ, the Anointed One, the Messiah. Now let's not go about why you calling him Jehovah, others call him Allah, Yahweh. And he has so many languages in this creation. That's why your name is not mentioned the same way either in another language. So a sea of multitudes before the throne of the supreme judgment. I'm saying this because it will give us more to understand why all this is happening. Why so much violence, human trafficking, and so much destruction. And why the leaders think that the future for the persons is guns and weapons. What a great future. That ain't no future. Let's remember that God is merciful and that He would and will and is timely. He's a real Father. He will not let he will not let it happen like they show in the movies of how bad it's going to get for the Christians or for whoever does not bow down to whatever it was. We went through a lot of times already. So we must not fear to be good. Now, on that throne of the Almighty, powerful, and force, strong, belongs to the Creator. He's got all the power, force, and even to acknowledge it in the beat of your hearts. The way we are created and we grow into our height and that heart how is it turned on? How is it on? To beat, beat, beat. How is it possible to not understand why it said, be careful on what you set your heart to? The active, the active force it's what keeps it beeping. The active force of the spirit of life. Now, before the throne, before the oneness will be sitting on that throne, is going to reward us. We're going to be rewarded according to our deeds. Now remember that according to it, to our deeds does not mean that if you did bad things, it's what he's going to do to you. No. Because it's written that some of them will not stand in the judgment. Who is in that category to not make it to be in the judgment trial to be rewarded? very simple. We have persons that have decided to harm other people, to sacrifice children, to we have those that have pacted in exchange for fame and richnesses. And the deal was that they would, with the good music that we have, send and destroy the thinking, the minds, the heart, and the spirit of many people that like to hear music. Is it acceptable to hear somebody singing a song saying about the worst things of a woman, of the most precious jewel? They are more precious than gold and silver and refined of any type of metals. Now, there's not a psychologist, those PhDs, psychologists, that can discern that children to listen that women are this and they're that, that children has a mom, or sisters, grandma, great grandma. And so on forth. Now, a psychologist with a PhD cannot discern what's causing so much mental breakdown and people going about the wrong way and youngsters that had their lives destroyed. Being contaminated. Threatened. Hold against their will. I can't believe that a governor, a leader will not yell out and say, hey, stop offending women. Say that to another man and see what happens to you. So it is your responsibility to apologize and erase off this earth your stupidity that came out of your mouth to offend women. If you sing a song that's offending the women, I don't see how that got you rich or give you the fame. The industry carried you out there like if it was the most famous thing. Or those that carried you and made it supposedly so famous, but they're they're using all the media to offend and squash and destroy and break down the mentality. So if you're one of those and you're listening and you feel like you feel right now, what do you think that women feels when you talk about them like that? So this is not to enrage you against me, nor to set you off to say, you know what, we have to do something. Because you can't do that. Don't consult against me. Nothing. So rich and famous, he wanted the fame. And if you're so rich, what good does it do to you to be rich with the fame that you have? You dress like clowns and look so ridiculous. But since they make it believe it's the rich and famous and everybody is in need, the nation that feeds you for free is in need. Now that explains where the lyrics to go about killing and robbing and doing the being a crip, doing crime to be rich and famous, because by no way that you, by saying that you're this and that and with your gun and you kill, how can you be rich and famous because of that? And people go about doing it and end up losing their lives. And how do you can be famous that explains exactly where the lyrics are shot like arrows against the people. Why don't you make a real song and say, you know what? We packed it and this was the deal to put all this on your guys' minds because these retarded and stupid hidden cowards will kill me if I wanted to take off when I make a little earning. That's why they always have like people with them. It ain't that. It's because they want to be around them or nothing like that. No. They know, and they gotta be many of them because they're in danger. They think and say, you know what? We're in danger because there's gotta be people out there that knows. So we go out there like we have a lot of friends and stuff because I'm a famous singer. And that's why all these are with me, because they like to be with me because I'm cool. But they're only in bunches to protect themselves. Now the people ain't going to do nothing to them. No. Nobody. I ain't sending you a message like you send a message that you will kill and the whole clip and or so much bad influences. I ain't threatening you like you threat everybody and the women. With those lyrics and the system tightening up the need of the people, everybody in debt, and at the halt of that economical breakdown again, the recession or whatever they call it, the manipulation with the intention to cause terror in the people, in the nation. Since you have and had the media flowing the right movies that the military comes against their people, because look at the people go wild and crazy. No. We have, each one of us has a family member in the service. Even if they're discharged, they are trained to defend the nation. You are not going to use our heroes to terrorize the people. And like I want to tell you, you should have built-in homes, the proper type of vehicles, instead of building bombs. So maybe lots of the singers don't know how that thing is really working. They're just intrepid or interpret or saying those lyrics because all they had to do was make the lyrics, make 2 or 3 famous, and then everybody would want to sing that because supposedly that's what made them rich and famous. And he forgot that those that he's offending have moms, sisters, daughters, grandmas, great granddaughters. and they ain't what they say that they are. They, no. None of them are what you say that they are. That you are abused, and think they got the power now. It's proper and it's necessary that you will erase off this earth and the media you're offending recordings of what supposed made you rich and famous. You see, this is what gives the opportunity to say what cannot be anymore. So you can dismantle yourselves, erase all your terrorist intentional with premeditation lyrics against the people and women. And wherever you had sacrificed a children or son, burn those places, burn your own places down. Like, if you know you sacrificed a person there, burn those places, you by yourselves. You who did it, just say, okay, burn it. So you guys get that off your mind. God did not give you No power at all. That was just to entrap those that you're bringing in. And look, you have no way out because this is, you're here. And you recorded also where we're doing this. So that's what keeps them trapped. Because in reality, who feeds you and creates the money and all that is the people. What, how do you feel to be in the TVs because it's pushed, it's nobody wants to watch it, but they make it seem like that's what got the fame. So it's all over. Clowns, worse than clowns. Music and the singing, the rapping, it's beautiful. It's the greatest vibration of the tones of the music of that everybody likes. Yet the contaminating of the music it is also written that it will be the music will be rescued and cleansed. Is it hard to accept that those lyrics are very harmful? It's one of the worst. There ain't another terrorist act against the people, children, and innocent, and women. At the worst terrorist act on record. Now, you always wanted to break the record. Break it. And those that are the leaders of the pop star or that famous one, how can you say, who is he to say that to me? And I tell you, who are you to have done what you've done? I'm here to serve you. And for what has been sent to the people of the nations. Now, can we understand that it's imminent? The judgment on everyone. And if you decide to follow and go after the cowards, to keep doing or try to keep doing the same thing, so that's going to be up to your will. But let me tell you one thing, that it is written that those that supposedly go after the evil stuff to harm the people, let's say that you think you're all undercover and we got it under control, but yet all of a sudden the mark shows in your foreheads, and if that mark shows in your foreheads, read what's got to be done after that. Immediately after your marks go visible. So if we must be prepared for something of the attack of the extraterrestrials, or no, They have always been keeping us alive and protecting this creation. A beautiful earth, the great four seasons, are saying, you know what, we can't, we want to, but we can't because you know why this is happening. The evil ways have arisen like never before. And it will never again ascend like it has arisen. Now note and have this very present that God is not doing it to harm nor harms nobody. It's to prevent to see so many go into destruction, to be extinct, to be exhumed from the existence. For each one that returns from his evil ways, there's a party. For everyone that returns, there's a party, even in the heavens. Because God ain't boring, nor none joyful, or none taste of life. No, He created the taste. He created the joy. He created happiness. You are created and set to live forever. Same like if you would, like, you know that we do not accept nor tolerate somebody hurting other people, correct? God does not allow that either. Enjoyment, the feelings, the taste, or your senses. He created it. So don't tell me that it's boring being with God. No, it ain't boring. You guys thought like that because you see yourselves thinking that you were the richest and famous, and you see all the people without time to be at home because they got to feed the rich and famous, because otherwise they will die of hunger, because where they go to eat, $25,000 up to $200,000 a piece of steak. You see all that circle are ridiculers to all the people. Whoever sold it to you at that price, he made the biggest fraud ever, because we took it to him for free and made a lot of money for those cowards to use it to try to show us what, by being a criminal, because they sing all that criminality that they did, and that's why they're rich and famous. But in reality, yes, you did do the worst crimes. However, there's been so many years donating into certain cancer researching, and so many other deadly diseases. And it's obvious that where that money goes, in trillions, could be, because everybody wants to be freed from cancer, so most likely everybody put $1 or more. Yet wherever it went, it is loud and clear that they know that it doesn't matter how much it comes in, would cure the cancer, nor find, nor research. why doesn't the other branch of the most powerfulest ones would tell them, hey, I'm going to donate you some fuel. You can use my gas stations while you go and research for cancer. Me, the multi-billionaire of such oil industry, I'm going to give you all the gas you will need so you go and research cancer. Gasoline, petroleum, the paint, everything has known to cause cancer. Our water embottled in cancer. What an economical, beautiful, and great that cannot think you know what, we're going to make sure that since we are selling them the water and it's our water and we're going to sell them the water in their homes, we're going to make sure that we'll filter it and put an extra a drinking fountain with 100% at its level that it's got to be with the minerals. It's got to have a little bit of minerals. But no, you decide to make so many bottles of water in a cancerous container. And you know what? We have the economics so great that now we have people that they won't have time to wash a dish. So we're going to make this very light type of deadly, cancerous, contaminating material that's disposable. If they like it or not. and where so many donations go to, billions. Let me find out you're the loners. Well, those that receive those fundings are researching still for cancer. They can't think on all the contaminating chemicals being put downstream. Downstream, yes. Now they see that fishes, the whales, the sea monsters they're giving up. They have their purpose now. So they come out and say, look guys, no more. Like I said, all that weed killer we'll see all year long. After once starts summer, you'll see them spraying weed killer on all along the roads, sidewalks, center medians. And then there's those swales where the water drains to and says we live downstream. So if that, whoever's in charge, the better Bureau of Businesses and all that environmentalistic can't catch that, it's being done purposely. Because it would be more proper and cleaner and looking good if we would yank those weeds off instead of just spraying deadly poison in our soil, in our water. And yet, those that get the fundings to research what's causing these cancers and loss of minds and loss of health, they won't go about saying, you know what, I'm going to go to a Lowe's or a Home Depot or wherever they sell all this, let's go see the labels on these things. If you get, some of them say, if you come in contact with this cleaner, your skin, run water on your hand for about 10 to 15 minutes. Run water in your hand like for 10 to 15 minutes. That's how bad it is. So how are you expecting all the new gifts that will be given when you're not caring not even about your own health, nor the health of the kids, nor their education, and none of that? God bless those that are being set to take action, not meaning like going in a rampage, so that the bad ones don't get frightened, to take action to stabilize, to remove and replace everything. All that, everything that we consume and use but in order to do that, those rich and famous have to either erase or they must be charged for saying that they abused this way and that way, and they abused and abused and abused, and they killed, and they did so many things. And if that made them rich and famous, then the authorities did not file against that person, because that wouldn't mean to get you rich and famous. If you did all those crimes, you went and killed and abused and robbed. That's what you saying in your lyrics. So do we take it for granted, or you erase, you break the record? Do we take it like affirmative, that you want to keep that and keep saying what you did? It's simple to erase. Show that you do respect women. Because otherwise, I'll set up a class action, and all who want to join are entitled for defamation, not only for defamation, yet for causing mental breakdown and suffering and all kinds of unhealthy created by by retaining themselves the anger of being offended. Whoever those leaders and promoters of such a coward's act, whoever they are, you offended even my great grandma and all my women, all, and that's not accepted. And don't publish no more that you're eating a $1 million dinner, right? Because there's children dying of hunger. And the system's got the people too busy to attend the other nations like it used to be. Because being so busy, well, at least people, they know that people have a desire to serve. So they'll just put a basket, donation for the king. Don't worry, look, you put your dollar there, that'll take some relief off you. You did your part. We know you're in a hurry. You have no lunch, you have no breakfast, no nothing. The commute is killing you, but you will release a little pressure from yourself that you did do something for those that are in need of either medical or of a taco or a little soup of 25 cents. Why wouldn't you think because you were prohibited and because you submitted to it, and by doing such a harm to a person, that obliges you to be trapped with the cowards, with terrorists. And you heard those sirens, you hear them all day. They rush to save lives, and they see so many go. And they're in debt. They owe the roof. They save lives. And why would they have to worry of not having a home or about bills? Still, you see, you let them have their home, keep them the same way, keep paying them their same wages. What's it going to do? It's going to run the economical, right? It's going to be able to go buy at little stores, little things that will help the people if the economic would be used properly. but it's clearly and it's so visible, the pressure and how this, and to set the payments on people. You have to buy because otherwise we're going to take it from you. So you either give it to us the other way, like have people go do some unnecessary type of work in your house or whatever. You either spend it that way or we're going to come take it anyways. So they go into another buy of to balance it out. And that's where they are submitted into debt. And don't you fail a payment. Don't fail a payment. Because if you make too much, we're going to take much from you. So don't fail a payment because we're going to add fees. And we're going to push you to stress to go commit a crime. Because it's needed to keep that pressure on the people to show our police, all branches, that the people are criminals. And what's one of the worst and highest crime? The DUIs. But they won't ask them, why were you drinking and driving? No, saying you were drinking and driving. They won't say, why were you drinking and driving? They don't let, you can't drink at work. And by the time you get home, you're going to have like 4 hours sleep. Maybe less. And because in every corner, the only section that seems to be healthy or to numb the pain of so much work and tiredness, it's the beer. Because if I drink those sodas, all of those drinks, you drink it, you have them, and there's no healthy drinks. All those drinks in the refrigerators, it is clear that they're made with the intention of non-minerals and essentials it's only sugar or fake sugar and a cancerous artificial flavor. So, like we have it set music is beautiful. To sing is beautiful. Yet to offend one woman is not allowed. With the process it's very simple to level everything out so that you won't have to consume what was taken from the natural, from the soil resources and made into a chemically with such components and instead of showing that drug pharmacy it's got our health in their hands. And those others that are very rich, supposedly from being directors or medical directors and scientists and lab they can go to schools or to the headquarters when we go, so that they make like a journal for the children in school to learn what all this is. And how is it for, and what is it for, and what it's derived from. We're going to end this now because that lawnmower is causing too much disturbance. Have a little hearts for yourselves. And look at, from those of the flock of terrorists and cowards, look at one another and say, you know what, I ain't a coward like you. Maybe the other one will say, well, me either. And get rid of your, break those records. Get rid of those lyrics. Because it says parental discretion. Goodbye. So I'm a parent. That same logo is against you. By breaking those lyrics, justice will be on that of women, of the most important. must. Got you. Let's say you're in that circle. And I ain't on every of those corners there. But I'll be the fire. The reason I say this is not to threaten nor to literally specify it. No, this is figuratively, because the circle is hit on the whole surrounding. All surrounding, because and there ain't many of them. It's more of all the victims that were brought into it, because obviously nobody wants to be seen like those children that we see that have their skin glued to their bone, dying of hunger. Nobody wants to be seen like that. They want to be seen like a rich and famous. But yet, you want to still be seen like that? Like a rich and famous that is killing you in your mind with what they sing? This is done for now. And about the great throne. It's watching. It's at hand. It's we'll be back.